Good afternoon. My name is Maneesh Chhibber. I'm going to take your questions on the issue of Justice Ranjan Gogoi recusing himself from the bench which was hearing the petition filed by Common Cause, an NGO, challenging the appointment of CBI officer Nageswara Rao as interim director, appointment of a full-time CJI chief. Common Cause in its petition has challenged the appointment on various grounds, most important of which is the fact that there are serious allegations against Nageswara Rao, and also it said that time has come for the CBI to have a full-time director. Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi has recused from that hearing the case on the grounds that he was part of the high-level committee which is headed by the Prime Minister of this country, Mr. Narendra Modi, and also comprises as the third member apart from the Chief Justice and the Prime Minister, leader of the single largest party in the Lok Sabha. Right now that man is Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge. So Chief Justice Gogoi's explanation is that since on 24th of January that committee is meeting to select the next CBI director in place of Alok Verma, who was, if you remember, recently shunted out to as Director General of Delhi Fire Services. So since he is going to be part of this selection committee, he does not want there to be a part of the bench which hears Common Cause's petition on the ground that it could lead to duality in functions, or it could there could be a conflict of interest. So I'm going to take your questions on our YouTube channel. You can also tweet your questions to the print handle, and I'll try and accommodate as many questions as possible. The first question that we have is from Atman, who wants to know: CJI is there to hear cases and decide them on merit. How can he use this in such an important case? Yes, the main function of the Chief Justice of India is to hear cases, decide them, and since he's he's at top Indian judicial system, he has to consider each case and whether that case there's an issue of constitutionality involved in that case, and accordingly decide that case. Sitting in a bench of 2 or 3 or maybe more, it is a constitutional matter. Apart from hearing cases, the Chief Justice of India is also part of several other committees constituted either by the government or because of some law. For example, he is on the selection committee of a lot of tribunals that are functioning in this country. They are quasi-judicial bodies. So he has to job also, and that is a job which every Chief Justice of India has to do. So I don't see any reason why somebody should question his decision to recuse himself from this matter. Yes, he has to hear cases and hear them on merit, but if there is an iota of conflict of interest that can tomorrow somebody can question it. So I think he has done the right thing in recusing himself. Meher wants to know, shouldn't he have followed the same principle while deciding Alok Verma's case? Yes, Meher, this is not the first time that the Chief Justice of India will, or for that matter, any Chief Justice of India will be sitting in a high-level committee headed by the Prime Minister to select the next CBI director. The Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, was aware of that when he heard that the Alok Verma matter. At that time also there were many who wondered whether he should have heard that matter, but now that all is in the past. He has done the right thing now by recusing. Yes, I tend to agree with you that he should have recused in that case, but do remember when he recused, when he decided that matter, after that he did not go for the high-level committee, and instead he deputed his second senior most judge, Justice Sikri, to attend that meeting. So right now he's trying to ensure that there is no conflict of interest, which is a good thing. I think he should have, he's done the right thing, and we should applaud him for that. Mr. Kisley asks, what are the similarities and differences between the steps taken by Justice Deepak Mishra and Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi? Mr. Kisley, there are a lot of things that Justice Ranjan Gogoi, if you remember last year's January 12th press conference, it was aimed at the functioning of the then Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. There were many who thought that because the four senior most judges, including Justice Gogoi, who was then number 3 or 4 in seniority, third in seniority at that time after the Chief Justice and Justice Chalameshwar. There were many sore points that these people had with over the functioning of the then Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. Everybody had thought things will change, things will improve, but now there are many decisions, including the decision to elevate 2 judges to the Supreme Court, which happened last week. Questions are still being raised over whether things have changed or do they continue to be the same. I would say, stick my neck out and say that nothing seems to have changed, and everything continues in the same vein as it did under the previous Chief Justice, Justice Deepak Mishra. Justice Gogoi, he did his actions when he was just a judge and not the Chief Justice, did promise a lot. There were a lot of people who felt that there would be a lot more transparency, there would be a lot of changes in the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, that has not happened. But do remember that he is very new in his tenure, and he still has a few months to go. So maybe in the next few months we will see some improvements in his style of functioning, in the functioning of the Supreme Court. We may see a more improved collegium system at work. But for that, we'll have to come back at a later stage and judge him on the basis of what he does in the next few months. Nitin Parikh wants to know, is there any similarity between Modi and Indira regarding supersession of judges? The difference between Modi and Indira Gandhi is that when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and I'm presuming you are referring to the emergency era. At that time, we did not have a collegium system. The Chief Justice of India was one of the voices. He used to recommend names, and the government used to clear the names. But after that, we had the 3 judges cases settled by the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court, which ushered in the collegium system, strengthened that collegium system. 2 years ago, 3 years actually, 3 years ago, we had the Supreme Court judgment in the National Judicial Appointments Commission case, which again reiterated that the collegium system was the better system insofar as appointment of judges to the higher judiciary is concerned. So there is not you cannot compare the 2 regimes, whether Modi is good or Indira was bad. But yes, the fact is, while during Mrs. Gandhi's tenure, you saw supersession of Justice H.R. Khanna, who was in line to be the Chief Justice of India. He was superseded by the then Indira Gandhi government just because he wrote in the corpus case. He went against the government case, while all other judges, all other members of that bench, in that constitution bench, they succumbed to government pressure. They agreed with the government point of view. Justice H.R. Khanna, that great jurist, he decided that case on merit, and everybody even today remembers him for that. So that was one dissent because of which he lost his shot at the top post in the Indian judicial system. Compare that to now, the collegium, and ever since it has come into power, there has been this very unhealthy tension. There has to be some kind of tension between various organs of the state. For that is something that is expected, that is actually well. But there has been some very unhealthy tension also between the Modi government and the higher judiciary. It all began when the Modi government started sitting on recommended by the Supreme Court collegium on various specious grounds. In several cases, even after names had been reiterated by the collegium, the government refused to or chose not to clear those names. even though the law is very clear that once a name has been reiterated by the collegium and the government has to process those names, but the Modi government has done that in several instances. It has been sitting on names, it has been rejecting names similarly. So there is some very unhealthy tension, and this does not portend very well for the system, for the democratic system that we live in. But I'm sure these things will eventually work themselves out, and we can only hope for the best, and and hope that all sides will sit together. They'll put their heads together and work out a system beneficial for country, for a political party, or not just for the judiciary. Deepak asks, do you think he is doing this now because of the controversy over post-retirement job of Justice Sikri? Deepak, I don't think these two are connected matters. Justice Sikri has already, taken the honorable way out. He has said that he will not accept any post-retirement job. He has also he decided not to accept the post-retirement job that the Modi government had offered him. So I am sure there is at the back of Chief Justice of India's mind in taking today's decision to recuse from this case. That controversy would have been there, but I don't think that was the only thing. I think what the CJI wanted to achieve through this recusal of controversy over his decision, and I think, as I said earlier also, I think he has done the right thing. Earlier also, when hearing information, he was aware that tomorrow he may have to in that selection committee. At that time also he should have recused, but unfortunately he did not do that. But as they say, better now than never. So he's done the right thing. So let's see, wait and watch how things go on from here on. Basant Kumar Patnaik, should Justice Sikri not recuse himself now in the same manner? So I don't think there is any conflict of interest what Mr. Justice Sikri is going to do here. Justice Sikri is no longer part of that high-level committee. It was the Chief Justice of India who was supposed to be there. Justice Sikri had attended that last meeting on the asking of the Chief Justice of India. He had represented the Chief Justice of India. So I don't think there is any committee to which he needs to go, or and where there will be a conflict of interest. As I said, Justice Sikri has done the most honorable thing by deciding not to accept a post-retirement job. So we should all wish him well. Jinder Narang wants to know, decisions of Supreme Court on Rafale and CBI are full of confusion. Functioning now has deteriorated. Do you agree? Tejinder, it's a good question. But having said that, I remember always that whenever there's a court case, one side wins and one side loses. So unfortunately, having too many sore losers in these politically sensitive times, politically charged times. So I don't think we should question the Supreme Court of India. Yes, there have been instances where the Supreme Court could have done things in a better way, could have done things differently. But those things are in the past now. What we do expect is that in future, whenever politically sensitive cases deal with them, and leave no scope for more advantage themselves, something that needs to be avoided. I think we are in the right direction. I'll take this last question from Preeti. She says, should CJI Gogoi make a public announcement that he won't accept a post-retirement job? Preeti, it's a very good suggestion. I totally agree with you that no judges should accept a post-retirement job, but then that is not a call for me or you to make. It is a call that Chief Justice of India Gogoi should make. He still has a few months to go before his retirement, but yes, there is a lot of pressure on our higher judiciary, members of the higher judiciary, to announce. There have been cases in the last few months. Justice Chalameshwar retired. He had the appointment, not even going to accept any job from the government. Justice Lokar did so. Justice Queen Joseph announced similarly that he won't accept a post-retirement job. So I personally, if you ask me, yes, it's a good idea for the Chief Justice of India if he were to make a public announcement that he would accept a post-retirement job. But that is, we have to leave it to his conscience. We have to leave it to him whether he does that or not. But and also, I don't think we should put any kind of pressure on him. But till he's in office as Chief Justice of India, all that we request him or we expect of the Chief Justice of India to do is to deliver justice and deliver that justly and swiftly and ensure that there is enough transparency so as to not leave any scope for insinuations or anything of that sort. So we still have a lot of questions, but unfortunately I'm running out of time. Do keep watching us and do keep sending in your questions in future also. Thank you.